Good afternoon, everyone. I just wanted to take a minute to do a little food news for this afternoon. Um, this is May 29th, 2021. Tomorrow, I'm going to be preparing some steak, so if you're interested in that video, I hope that you will join in with me. Preparing it different types of ways, using the traditional method, and using some of those as seen on TV products so that you can see the difference in the quality and the texture and the flavor and everything of the steak. So I hope that you'll join me for that. And if you have some steak, bring it. Let's do it all together. Anyway, I wanted to share a little bit of food news for you today. First of all, for those with pets, Nature's Balance cat food has had a cat food recall due to potential salmonella contamination in the cat food. And this was according to some findings from the Minnesota Department of Agriculture that detected the salmonella bacterium in the cat food when they were at the facilities. And the Food and Drug Administration says that the potentially contaminated food was distributed nationwide. So it was processed here in the state of Minnesota and distributed all across the United States. Currently, it hasn't been linked to any illness and any pets. If you've already purchased that food and your pet ate it and you're noticing any of the following signs or symptoms, I'd say contact your veterinarian right away. Decreased appetite, fever, diarrhea, vomiting, or excessive salivation. If you noticed any of those things, contact your veterinarian right away, and I would suggest tossing that food for now. It's good when they keep us up to date on what could be a potential contaminant for our pets. Sorry, I got my coffee with me today. This is that mug, my coronavirus mug, I'll call it. It says, "Be true." It was a mug that some friends gave me when I had COVID-19 last year, which has now become one of my favorite mugs. Okay, next in food news for humans. Chicken recall. Over 130,000 pounds of frozen chicken products have been recalled due to possible Listeria contamination. Now, those Listeria monocygenes, which I mention often in videos about different recalls, and I know some people think that food recall videos are probably boring to them, but it's important because sometimes you got to take a break from cooking and doing other things to focus on these things that are going to be good for your health and your body, because you are what you eat, and what you put in your body makes a difference for your life. So the food, my cat's like running like crazy right now in the other room. The products that were distributed that are a part of this food recall were all distributed to Florida food banks. The majority of those food banks, which I've looked up, are food banks that were held in churches. But they were given in like food boxes to be given out at food banks. It's a 1.5-page long list. If you go to the USDA website, they have the full list. It's really too long of a list for me to read here, but they're all Florida food banks, and it'll give you the name of the food bank, the locations of the food bank. It gives you everything from A to Z regarding each one. So the USDA Food Safety and Inspection Service issued the recall for fully cooked, diced, and frozen chicken items. So these are those packaged items that people get, and then they can pop it in the microwave and cook it and keep on going. The items in the recall were packed January 25th and January 26th of 2021. And also, there's a group of items that were packed March 23rd and March 24th of 2021. Products that require recooking due to the possible Listeria contamination had been repackaged without being recooked. They recook it at a higher temperature to kill whatever is in the chicken, I suppose. And it was also distributed through commerce. The affected products were distributed in individual food boxes at local Florida food banks. And as I said, probably 2/3 of those food banks are located within church settings, from what I read on the list. And this doesn't mean that churches are bad. It just means that this is where that food was sent to at that particular time. And this was through food banks, through the Farmers to Families Food Box program. So if you know of different locations, I don't care if it's a church or a standalone building or through a community market that has the Farmers to Families Food Box program, the chicken that's in those packages, that frozen chicken, that is what has been recalled. There hasn't been any reports of adverse reactions to date regarding the Listeria. But, as I've mentioned in previous videos, let's go down the list of some of the symptoms of Listeria. Stiff neck, headache, confusion, people having a loss of balance, some people having convulsions or diarrhea, or they could have other gastrointestinal symptoms. And Listeria exposure can be dangerous for women that are pregnant, small children, frail, older adults. My cat is still making a lot of noise. Okay, but those are some things that are really important to look out for. And as I've mentioned in previous videos, it seems like there has been an increase in food recalls lately, and I'm not sure what else going on. Lacey, cut it out. But there's been an increase in food recalls, and we have to really be vigilant and watch what we're getting. You know, it's great when we're able to get something at a good price. Sometimes you'll go to a store and things will be marked down dramatically. Sometimes it may be something that you get from one of these food programs, and it's still good to go to use, you know, the Farmers to Families Food Box program or other food box programs, or it's good to go to your farmer's market. It's good to go to your community gardeners or wherever you may shop. It's just when you're getting your items, be vigilant. When you know that there's something that has been affected, just be on the lookout. Look through what you have, see what you have, and does it fit the criteria that I'm mentioning here? If it does, you can contact the FDA. You can contact the maker of the brand if it's on the label. You can contact the Food and Drug Administration, the U.S. Department of Agriculture. There's lots of ways to check into what's good and what's not good for you. I used to take the time to list every single place that these foods were sent out to, but that made the list very long, and it takes a very long time to go through all of that. Although I'm sure it's helpful for people, if you at least know that it's a chicken recall and it's coming out of these locations, check what you have. Return it, toss it, or whatever. If you're going to try to eat it, I personally wouldn't advise eating it if it's from one of those locations, but if you're trying to be courageous and eat it, you might want to really cook it, uber cook it. But whenever bacteria and different things develop in foods, it's really best to not keep that because of the effect that it could have on your body. Well, I think that's all I'm going to share for now. As I said yesterday, if you're ready, have out your frying pan or your Instapot, or if you have one, you can have out your Instapot, or your air fryer, because we're going to do some different things with different foods, and I'll show the difference in the cooking process and time, and how the food tastes, the quality, the consistency of those things at that time. But for now, I'm going to listen to some vinyl. Got my Duke Ellington, Cab Calloway, and Charlie Parker. Now, I hope you're having a great Memorial Day weekend, if you celebrate it. If you don't celebrate it, I hope you're having a great weekend anyway. Talk to you soon.